what was that? A day ago or two, it was like, yeah, no, null and void, null and void. Okay, let me get set up for real because hold on, y'all, hold on. For those of y'all that already know and those of y'all that don't know, let me introduce myself. My name is Rainy Storm, checking in for April 2023 astrology. Hold on one second, for real. Hold on. Let me get my stuff real quick, yeah. Okay, for real. Let's see if this is going to give. Hey, what's up? What's going on, Wisdom? Give me a second. Like, every time, see, it wasn't working before. So I had to, like, the other day, so I had to, like, restart it over again for this shit to work. So I got to adjust it a little bit. A little bit. I think that's good. Are we good? We Gucci? Can you see me? Okay. Looking good. All right. So, let me get my little thing real quick. We are checking in once again for the April 2023 astrology. Even though I love Pisces season, I really do. I love Pisces season so much. There is something about the April energy. Even though sometimes it could be a little combusted, like, you know what I'm saying? It's something about that energy in me that just be like, okay, it's time to do it. It's time to go. It's time to get it in. It's time to get big. Like, I love this energy. So I'm really excited. Happy April Fool's Day. I do have the astrology April 2023 journal actually available in on the website. So if you go to rainstorm.wix.com/info, you could definitely find that information there for the journal. And yeah, definitely, I hope y'all have been. Definitely need to take a better or do better at doing the journals and stuff for myself, for real. But the journals are there just so when you do have those transits coming up and things like that, you can actually take note of like what was going on at that time, you know, what was happening here, what was happening there, all that good stuff. So definitely download it on the website for free. Also, too, this month I will be doing readings for $30. 15-minute readings for $30. I'm going to be running a special. So if you go ahead and subscribe to the website, I can definitely send you that information. But other than that, let's get it popping. Welcome to April 2023 once again. So, first thing I want to start with is Mercury entering Taurus. So we've had Mercury in Aries, quite, you know, Jupiter there, Chiron there, and then we had Mercury in Aries. So I really, like I said the other video, I really do feel like we're getting this really good energy of like really coming back into ourselves, right? Like it's kind of like that Kickstarter energy. I do feel like this is like the official start of the year. March, April is really like the beginning start of the year where we like come into like the heat and the weather and seasons start changing and we're getting ready for summer. You know, we're ushering in the spring, getting ready for summer. So there is definitely been like this newness energy with Aries. I feel like a lot of us are starting to really tap back into ourselves. And so as it moves back, or as it moves into Taurus, I honestly think of it like one of those things where we are learning about who we are, right? Like we're kind of like coming into this new chapter of our lives with the Aries, like that Fool's card that I was talking about. We come into this season with that, and then I feel like Mercury, once it moves into Taurus, and that's going to be on April 3rd, I feel like it gives us like the language, right? Because Taurus rules the throat. So that throat chakra is like learning the language of like, okay, now that I'm here, now that I'm on this journey, now that I'm on this fool's journey, I am starting to communicate with the universe exactly what it is that I want to build a more solid foundation on in that area of my life. So wherever Mercury and Taurus is transiting in your house, you can definitely kind of see where that plays out. But you know, I feel like especially with the eclipses happening this month, I feel like there is going to be like a shift. Mercury is in Taurus, Uranus is in Taurus, the North Node is in Taurus. So like I said, once again, wherever this is playing out in your chart, you definitely want to kind of see like where like this shift, or if you felt the shift before it even shift into this energy? Have you felt like a specific type of shift with it? I know for me, mine is going in my third house. So, for example, I feel like the ways in which I am starting to communicate, the way that I've communicated in the past, the way that, and not just even through my voice, but the language of me, the certain things that I'm doing on my day-to-day basis are really shifting for me. Also moving is another thing too. So Taurus is like very slow and steady. You know, it doesn't necessarily like to rush things. It likes to kind of take its time on things. Even the way it communicates, a lot of times Taurus is very slow in its approach. And, you know, it really just takes its time to really communicate. So, well, we have the solar in Aries, and then we have one in Scorpio. So, right. So it's gonna be an eclipsey kind of an eclipsey kind of month. Let me see. Wait, what is this? Hold on one second, y'all. So yeah, let me see. That's gonna be happening. Oh, I think I put my date wrong. Yeah, okay, so the solar eclipse in Scorpio is in May, but the Scorpio eclipse is in May, but the one that is happening this month is actually in Aries. So yeah, I had to make sure because I was like, wait, no. Okay, because we're gonna be in Taurus season, so yeah. Okay, so Mercury enters Scorpio there. Then from the 4th, we have continuing on to that, we have Mercury and Taurus squaring Pluto and Aquarius, and that to me, honestly, like I said, it kind of brings that like electrifying experience. Like I said, that Uranian kind of shock. So like I said, you definitely want to check to see, like I said, where those are playing off in your house. But it does feel like, honestly, you know what I'm thinking of in my mind? I feel like with Mercury and Taurus squaring Pluto and Aquarius, it feels like to me when a tree gets electrocuted, when a tree gets shocked by a thunderstorm. So it literally gets shocked by a thunderstorm. Sometimes it like penetrates the whole tree, and sometimes it'll penetrate a branch and literally just break it off. So that's what it feels. It feels really dramatic for me, but do with that information what you will. Okay, and then we have the full moon in Libra. Okay, the full moon in Libra on the 6th. So honestly, you know, when we talk about full moons, there are many endings that happen. A lot of this can definitely be in partnership to something or with something. So with Libra, I definitely think of, it doesn't necessarily always have to be romantic relationships with Venusian energy. I tell people this, like, this can definitely be like partnerships. This can be in business. This can be in law. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Libra also talks about, well, the 8th house really talks about inheritance, but I also be thinking about Libra overall and inheritance, just period. So basically being able to receive something from something else or somebody else, or maybe money's coming in from an unknown place that maybe you stash some money somewhere and then you find the money, you know what I mean, or something like that. For example, this can be an ending of a particular type of relationship, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like all else fails, everything's bad, everything's completely cut off, but it can definitely be like a symbol of more so like maybe a shift in a specific kind of relationship. You know what I mean? Or shoot, it could also be in partnership, a new business idea that you come up with somebody else, or ending a contract or something like that with somebody. And this doesn't necessarily have to be like a written contract that you see on paper, right? This can be like a spiritual tie or a spiritual bond or something like that can be coming into a close. Also, too, courts, law systems and stuff like that definitely have to do with Libra as well. So this can also be an energy of like maybe you needed to go to court with something, or maybe it's Judgment Day. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Okay, so then on the 7th we have Venus in Taurus, sextile Neptune in Pisces. I love this energy, honestly, because I feel like it makes, like, with that Mercury, like I said, communication, and the Neptune and Pisces energy, it it just honestly gives like a juicy, very artistic, very poetic, very sensual, very sexy, just energy. And I feel like you can really harness that and put that into something. Mars is still in Cancer. We'll get, I think we talked about that last month, but Mars is in Cancer. So taking that, like, moon, Neptunian, Venusian energy, like, in the mix, and when that Mars starts to irritate itself in Cancer sometimes, or if it's rubbing Cancer the wrong way, you can actually really transmute that energy into something really beautiful and creative. If you are a singer, that's another thing. If you have a beautiful singing voice, for example, or something like that, maybe that's getting on stage for the first time and performing, in front of a live audience, or maybe in front of some friends or something like that, or recording yourself, maybe making music, or just, for example, just something like that. Like, maybe you get a spark and you want to write some lyrics, you know what I mean? And then you're like, ooh, I want to write some lyrics, and shoot, let me make a beat. Want to make a beat. Let me, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like for the 7th. Then after that, on the 8th, Mercury in Taurus, sextile Mars in Cancer. Once again, juicy, juicy, juicy energy. Yeah, I think, wait, yeah, that is Mars in Cancer. So definitely use this energy to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? Whatever creative endeavor it is, like, and also too, this can be applied to not just like what you do on an everyday. And this is something that's like your hobby, beautiful. But also, if you run a business or have a business, this can be a really good time to get real creative. Also too, I'd like to think of Mercury and Taurus with this Neptune and Pisces. It has to do with the internet. What has to do with like being seen on maybe like a platform, or maybe you've always wanted to be on a specific platform or something like that, and you never had like the full motivation to just really do it and start it. So maybe this could be the time where you record your first video and you're speaking out, talking to people about maybe whatever creative endeavor you got going on, or maybe that has some tie to your personal finances and business. What else we have here? Venus enters Gemini. Woo! So we've had Venus in Taurus, which I feel like was really juicy. And now it's going to be entering the intellectual concierge of Gemini. And I feel like coming from this Venusian energy, which honestly I really loved. I love Venus in Taurus. I think it's very sensual and bountiful and abundant, just within its energy and just all overall. But when it moves into Gemini, there is a lot of energy around being able to communicate intellectually. So Venus in Gemini is intellectually stimulated. It's something like a sapiosexual. It has that bravado to it that's like, if you can penetrate my mind, if you can penetrate my mind, oh my God, like it's I like to think of Venus in, and I could say Mars too, but I like to think of Venus in Gemini to be one of those, for example, those things. It's like, I like the buildup of, even though we're not talking about, sex, Mars, right? But I like the buildup of of talking about the thing. Like, I like to talk to whatever it is that's happening, but then actually doing it, I don't know, but intellectual conversation. So you might be in or amongst groups, or maybe you go to an event and there's just a lot of like intellectual stimulation. Like, a lot of people are talking to each other. There's a lot of people meeting. Everybody wants to like kind of chat or talk or have these one-off conversations. And a lot of times Gemini can be, sometimes or most of the time, Gemini can be a little bit more surface-based, but like more surface-based conversations, whereas Sagittarius wants to get a little bit deeper. But it's kind of like all these different conversations going in one, right? This person is talking about this, then the conversation completely switches to something different. So Gemini's like, can you keep up? Can you keep up? Can you keep up? So yeah, definitely, I would definitely say this is a really good time to go out, or this is a really good time to write or study. something, or just, gain facts and things about something. Maybe you want to do something, once again, coming back to that media, because Gemini also rules media. Pisces rules media, but Gemini also rules media, because that's, social media is where we connect and we talk and things like that. You could be meeting people online. You could be meeting people or talking to people online, or maybe you find yourself chatting, or maybe, commenting on posts and things like that online, and maybe connecting inside of a group of people online and things like that. I don't know, online dating site. I don't know. Things like that could definitely come up during Venus and Gemini, and even wanting to speak more, wanting to talk more. So definitely, once again, go see where that is actually transiting in your chart. And yeah, then we have Venus trine Pluto in Aquarius. Once again, back to the maybe when we talk about that, or it could be two. I think of it as two things. On the 11th, Venus in Gemini trine Pluto in Aquarius could be maybe you find a new friend group, or maybe you find a new group or organization that speaks to your language, right? Like you're diving on social media trying to find so for example, for example, for all these things, I've been basically trying to learn how to build a boat. I haven't found no group or nothing like that. Yeah, I know some people that have been working on a boat, but maybe like you want to join a group that talks about, how to build a boat, or a collective of how to build a certain type of thing, because Gemini rules the hands. So, or maybe you want to get into like Reiki healing or something like that. Pluto and Aquarius will like basically usher that in. Venus and Gemini trine Pluto and Aquarius will kind of usher those things in. Also, let's see. We have it says Venus and Gemini on the 14th square Saturn and Pisces. Or no, Venus and Gemini square, yes, Venus and Gemini square Saturn and Pisces on the 14th. I feel like with this energy, like if it wasn't for Saturn, like I would feel like the Saturn and Pisces might get a little muddled. But I think when I look at Venus and Gemini square Saturn and Pisces, I look at like getting more structure on like the visuals and things like that you have. So if you're dreaming up like this big idea for a particular, like you have a particular plan about something, Gemini is an active starter, but it doesn't necessarily finish. But I feel like with Saturn in Pisces, it kind of wants to sharpen that. Like it kind of wants to sharpen you. It's like, okay, no, you might have the vision and things like that, but let me get you writing about what exactly kind of like plan of actions and things like that you want to take to fulfill this particular vision, or this particular goal. Like back to the songwriting. You could say with the Venus, what was that? Mercury in Taurus sextile, Mars in Cancer, or the Neptune in Pisces. You could be like, okay, I want to make a song, right? I want to make this song. I got the lyrics and stuff. I created the lyrics. The beat is nice. I feel like this Venus and Gemini Venus and Gemini square Saturn and Pisces is going to want you to be like, okay, so you have this song, right? Or you have the lyrics to these songs. You have the beat. Now, how are we going to put these two things together? And I know that's like a minute example, but that is definitely an example that you can actually use as well. Okay, Venus return in a couple of days. Okay. That's what's up. Congratulations. We love a Venus in Taurus. Let me see. What else? It's a pulled. We have the moon in Aries, square Mars in Cancer on the 18th. So this is the lead up to the solar eclipse in Aries on the 20th. So I feel like moon in Aries square Mars in Cancer could be a little combusty. Yes, hello Ratchet Boo. Yes, I went over that earlier. Yeah, that's April 6th. We are now over here down to damn near the 20th to that solar eclipse in Aries. But the moon in Aries on the 18th square Mars in Cancer could be a little bit combustive. It could be a little like a combustion of energy, right? Because Aries in the moon in Aries is already like already kind of irritable there because it's like, oh, like it's hot, you know what I'm saying? So it just wants to kind of go, blaze the trail, blaze a path. You know, it can be a little fiery with the emotions, and then Mars in Cancer is already irritable there. So I definitely would definitely say from like the 18th through, yeah, the 18th through the 20th, right? Maybe take it a little easy. You know what I'm saying? And you could be, I like to tell people all the time, go get you some water, be next to water, you know, or be in a place where you feel most grounded. If there's places that you go during this time, or maybe an event that you got to go to, or a workspace that you got to go through and things like that, like just maybe ground a little bit out there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe take some time to go be in the nature. Talk to some people that maybe be a little bit more on the common side. Go eat you some good, maybe eat you some good food, smoke your little blunt. I don't know. But during this time, it can be a little volatile. Like the energy can be a little volatile. So, not to say that it will, you know what I'm saying? But it might be some people coming to throw in some hands. And it doesn't necessarily have to be physically. Like, you might not necessarily, but you could. But it might not be that. But people just, there might be just a little bit more irritable energy during this time. So definitely kind of like teeth 10 with that energy. Like I said, from the 18th through like the 21st-ish. What else do we have here? Moon in Aries conjunct Jupiter in Aries, which is on the 19th. Now this is good, right? So like I know I just said from the 19th or the 18th through the 21st, kind of but honestly the Moon in Aries conjunct Jupiter in Aries, like I said, you can use this like alchemize. Anytime we talk about anything that has like a square opposition, anything that's like maybe going against the grain on something, like just think of the opposite of that. Like, okay, if I use this energy for this, what could I do? You know what I mean? Like, how can I actually really transmute this energy? But I feel like the Moon in Aries conjunct Jupiter in Aries, once again, Moon in Aries is it could be a little volatile there. It's like it could be a little hot there, right? Like smoldering under the guise of the moon, right? Like a hot basket. I don't know why I want to say a hot basket, like a heating pad. I don't know. You take what you want to take with it. But what I'm saying is, the conjunction with Jupiter and Aries, it can be a good time to like maybe do some physical activity. Maybe if you had like a hot yoga, there you go. Maybe do like hot yoga routine, or maybe do something like just or dancing, like get that heat off of you, you know, get that heat in you, get that heat off of you, maybe move that little sacral solar plexus around a little bit, but maybe take that energy to, oh, I'm about to say I heard it too. Me and my little son turned around like, hold on, let me get my baby. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on. I don't know who that is outside our door. Who is that outside our door? Maybe hold a cat during this time, or a pet. Maybe to spend some time with your pet or something like that during this time with the Moon in Aries conjunct Jupiter in Aries. Okay, he's done. His birthday's coming up. Heru's birthday coming up. He about to be 1 year old in June, y'all. My little Gemini baby. He about to be 1 year old. You pretty boy. Okay, I gotta finish up, okay? Okay. Okay, and then we have the solar eclipse in Aries. Yeah, solar eclipse in Aries on the 20th. I'm feeling good about me personally, I'm feeling good about it. It is a lot of energy in Aries, yes, girl. A lot of energy in Aries, but if we wield the sword for good, okay, and what is good is what is bad. But if we wield the sword for our highest good, all right, we shalt not have the biggest problems, okay? The problems that you think are really our problems are not really problems, okay? So just use this energy wisely and to the best of your ability, okay? And that's really what I want to say about this solar eclipse in Aries. But this, to me, is a completely new chapter. like completely new. It's gonna hit different. It's gonna feel different. Okay. And and I feel like this energy is going to really illuminate itself for the entire year, even into 2024. This energy is really, really going to illuminate itself. I think there's a lot of energy into really pouring back into yourself, because Aries is I am, is the self. I think there's a lot of energy and focus that needs to be really pushed and pulled back into you. you know um with the new moon in Libra or the full moon in Libra, it's like one of those things where maybe, I know I'm kind of jumping back and forth, but maybe you were just kind of whimsically giving, like maybe putting out, just giving out, like overly giving, and maybe that's shifting this month for you. But the solar eclipse in Aries is like really calling all that power back. It's really calling like all them cups. And I know it's not a cup card, but it's like calling all them wands back to yourself, calling all your, your armor, everything back to you. The soldier is home, okay? So, we're going to have the North Node in Aries coming into this year too. So, I would definitely say set the intention to really like be like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? This like really, really, like really honestly today, go in the mirror. I might have said this in the last video, but I want to say it again. Today, if you don't have a mirror, get you a mirror. If you just got to say it to yourself, say it to yourself, but go in the mirror and look at yourself. If you do mirror work, you already know what it is. But for real, go in that mirror and be like, yo, I am more than deserving of every single thing. That's how the Emperor comes in. It's the Emperor card. It's also the Fool, but it's the Emperor. It's like I'm sitting on my throne, and everything that I want, I can have. Everything that I am, I'm is. Okay? That's what this Aries energy wants you to really pull back into you. Like really, I keep hearing remembering who you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Especially with Mars in Cancer. You know what I'm saying? Mars in Cancer wants us to remember who we are. I know Mars in Cancer gets the bad rep of being a little volatile with Mars, but it's really ancestral for real. Mars in Cancer is very ancestral. You know what I mean? That's like calling in, you're literally calling in the moon soldiers. Like you calling in your spiritual team and guides with Mars and Cancer. They like sit on your porch every day. They have breakfast with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just feel like this with the solar eclipse in Aries, Mars in Cancer, even Venus in Gemini, the messenger. It's these messages that are coming in is like, yes, remember exactly who you were. Remember exactly what you come in this life to do. Remember your power. Remember what was given to you before you even reincarnated in this specific portal and lifetime and earthbound place that we are right now, simultaneously living through other worlds. But that's another conversation for another time. Okay, and then the 21st of April, we have the sun going into Taurus. So it's going to be Taurus season comes to knocking, okay? And I'm really excited for Taurus season as well, because it is going to be coming through with that North Node strong, right? It's going to be coming through with the North Node. I feel like this energy with the North Node, or with the, I would say the North Node in Taurus, with this energy. Oh, that's on the 21st. I think, like I was saying before, with the Mercury in Taurus, and even now with the Sun in Taurus meeting up, it's like the foundation and the playing field is going to look different. It's going to look different moving forward from here on out. Seriously. I think also too, when I just think of this energy of Taurus, it does have to do with the land also as well. It has to do with homes and housing. I know we talk about Cancer being that energy, but it's also with, this Taurian energy. I do feel like the foundations that were set when, the North Node energy first called itself in, I feel like this is going to be like an overall solidification of this Sun in Taurus, and then this Taurus season in general as well. So I'm excited. And then we have Sun in Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius. So also too, once again, the foundations are shifting, they're changing. The ways in which you've communicated before, like I said before, it's just gonna look different. It's gonna look different. Some of y'all might end up moving. You know, some of y'all might end up moving to another place, or you're in the midst of moving during this time, especially with Mercury retrograde in Taurus. So I mean, there definitely could be some like maybe some travel delays and stuff like that. For the most part, it's probably like a slow and steady move, right? So some of y'all can definitely be transitioning to another place, or maybe in this time you're thinking about it transitioning to another place, or you know, taking a vacation somewhere, or things like that during this Mercury retrograde in Taurus, or like I said, planning and maybe in the long term to take a trip somewhere, things like that. But yeah, that is, I think, and there's something else I think I wanted to say about Mercury retrograde. Oh, I feel like with the Mercury retrograde in Taurus too, because it does still have to. I know we think of Libra more so as the relationships, but I also think of Mercury and Taurus as the relationships too. I really do feel like I feel like I want to say like brothers and sisters, but I think it's deeper than like if you have brothers and sisters in your family, like there could be like maybe some communication from like your, you know, people that you grew up with, you know, back in the day. There could be I don't know, like I don't know why I'm thinking of somebody booty dialing somebody, like somebody accidentally calls somebody and they're like, "Oh snap, like I'm sorry I booty dialed you." And then you look at you like, "Wait, how are you doing? What's going on?" Or I've even noticed too, even before Mercury has moved into Taurus, I've noticed like, and I be doing that sometimes, but it's like real strong right now. But I'll be thinking about somebody. I was thinking about my homegirl that I went to high school with. I like saw her, like literally seen her entire like body like in my mind. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't talked to her in a long time. Blah 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 blah. Then she texts me literally like 10 minutes later. So it could be even stuff like that, like just revisiting like maybe old places that you used to go to, or old grounds that you used to be at, you know, or people that you used to talk to back in the day. That shit can be definitely coming through. Mercury in Taurus square or sextile Mars in Cancer. Once again, sensual and juicy. We love it. Maybe cooking like a really nice home cooked meal, or receiving a really nice home cooked meal, or just I don't know, just really being amongst in the midst of some like really comfortable people. You know what I mean? Um, Now, like I said, it could go both ways, but I think like really setting the intention on the 23rd of Mercury in Taurus, sextile Mars and Cancer, I was like, damn, how can I make my life like real, regal, royal, and juicy and comfortable? You know what I mean? Like I'm just seeing somebody like lay satin bed sheets. You know what I'm saying? Like they just shake the bed sheets of their satin bed and they just, you know, put it out, right? And then they have like the nice comfortable robe with the fuzzy slippers and stuff, and they doing their hair, putting the oil in their hair in the mirror and stuff. Like it's just something about it. It's just like it's juicy, you know what I'm saying? So then we have the Sun in Taurus sextile Saturn in Pisces. So I once again want to go back to social media with this energy. I also too want to go into or just mention the feet. And I want to mention the feet. It rules Pisces. So as where the throat rules Taurus, the feet rule Pisces. So this could be a really good day to go get like, because I keep talking about like what you can go get, because Taurus is very physical. It's the physical body. It's the physical things in which we touch, smell, taste, all the senses and things like that. So Saturn and Pisces to me, maybe you've been like on your feet for a minute, like, or maybe you do work that's like you're really on your feet, or even maybe if you're just sitting down all day and you haven't really got the opportunity to like move around and stuff like that. I just see somebody getting like a really good foot massage, like their feet being dipped in the water and then like it just soaking in there. I got a Taurus in my third house, so I'm just loving it for real. But you just put your feet in there and it's just getting rubbed, like, you know what I'm saying? Like rose waters and stuff like that is being put on there. So like, for example, once again, like I really do feel like that Sun and Taurus sextile Saturn and Pisces would be a good day for that, for sure. Then we have, what else do we have? Mars in Cancer sextile Uranus in Taurus. So, and that's on the 29th before we move out. Yeah, so Mars in Cancer sextile Uranus in Taurus. I like to think of this as an energy that can be a little ground shaking, especially because when we talk about, I'm thinking of Mars in Cancer, like that's the home. So there maybe can be conflict in the home, or to where maybe you do have to like move. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like some type of issue or conflict in the home, or maybe something like, I don't know why I'm thinking like about a pipe bursting, like maybe like one of your pipes burst. And I want to say this too about the things, and I want to mention this with the Mars and Cancer, definitely paying attention to the things going on inside of your home, because it is the home. So if things start to like burst in the home, like pipes bursting and water's coming out, or the toilet or the shower, or anything that has to do with like the water, or even the foundations of the home, once again, Uranus and Taurus, so like stuff just completely breaking and things like that.